Kenya do not just fail to disappoint us under the leadership of President William Ruto. Now, Kenya has joined or is about to join the fight against Yemen's Houthis mandated by the United States and EU or European Union. Hello, I am Mahlet, Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the continent. Now, from last night that the EU has released that Kenya has been picked by them and the US to join them in the fight against the Yemen's Houthis. Now, this is really a shock wave. No, the ink of the agreement between the US and the Kenya is not even dried. That ink of where it is stipulated that Kenya has become the major non-NATO ally, which we have said this again and again, it will jeopardize the security of the country, the region in East Africa, and the continent as a whole. So now this has come in effect. Now, Ruto, since he landed at home or back in Kenya, it's not even 48 hours when they released this news, picking Kenya or assigning Kenya. Perhaps this is something that they have talked already in their meeting during his visit in the US. Now, Kenya is joining the NATO war or all others, fighting against the Houthis. This is really a shock wave, Ruto just do not fail, to disappoint. Now it is like on a daily basis. Now this will jeopardize the security. It's not that Houthi is this good or bad or whatever. We all know what they're doing, but it's dragging the country in the conflict that is not its own, Why should they have to? They have all the capacity and the naval bases and everything. Why US do not finish its own war, or whoever is there now fighting against the Houthis? Why dragging Kenya into this? Kenya has been dragged, including Ethiopia, in the fight against Al-Shabaab in Somalia, and we all know with what we are left with that. So now they're gonna weaponize you, provide you, weapons and everything, and then probably training for the military, payment for your military, and then they send you in the front. Now, Kenya actually was called for a specific mission according to the EU ambassador in Nairobi or to Kenya. This is what they said. Let me just share this with you. This is exactly what they wanted. They have been talking about with Biden that we want Kenya to be a major non-NATO ally because for the security reason. Every time when the West gives you money or give you some kind of reward, it's all about security. Why it cannot be about development? Why it cannot be agriculture? Why it cannot be development of medicines or manufacturing? For that matter, that's what, because the continent needs so much right now. Let me just read it to you. Look. Nairobi, Kenya has agreed to help the European Union in dealing with maritime crime suspects in the region amid a rising threat from pirate activity and attacks by Yemen's Houthi rebels. The EU, or the European Union, which has a force operating in the Indian Ocean, is concerned that the insecurity, which is also affecting ship traffic in the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea, is disrupting international trade. Now, why not sending your own troops since you are there, meaning you, European Union and the United States? Why not finish your own war? Why dragging the children of Kenya into this? The nation that even did not agree for the country to become a member of NATO or a non-NATO, like whatever you call it, a major non-NATO ally. That is something to be settled now between the Kenyan people and the government. It's not yet settled. Now, You come up with this, immediately dragging, as if it is not enough, the Kenyan police deployment in Haiti, which has faced a lot of backlash, against the decision of the Kenyan government to join this. Backlash from Haitian people, backlash from the Kenyan people, backlash from member of parliaments in Kenya, backlash from the Pan-African globals that Kenya has to stay out of this. Now you come and assign Kenya for another war, which, do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? Now this is a whole, group backed by who are against, on the other side who are, opposite to the West. They are fully backed by Iran, which Iran do not deny about this. You are dragging Kenya in a war that's not their own. And President Ruto should be, at least for the people of Kenya sake, stand up and say, we will not take part into this. Which African country you have seen fighting the Houthis? Why you are dragging your people into this? Anyway, I'm going to continue to read now. With threats to shipping on the rise in the Indian Ocean, Gulf of Aden, and the Red Sea, the European Union is asking Kenya for assistance in prosecuting suspected criminals caught in the region's water. Do you think they will, once, Kenya, if it is able to prosecute those so-called suspected criminals, do you think there is no reaction from the other side? Don't you think in the fight styles that they are accustomed with terrorism and everything, that they do not attack Kenyans in Kenya and other places? You think this will be taken lightly, just like that, just because America and the European Union are backing with weapons and everything, that Kenya will not get the consequence of this? I will leave the answer, to you. Now, Henriette Geiger, she is the EU ambassador to Kenya, said the bloc is working with Kenya in dealing with suspected criminals caught in the region's water. Now, this is what she said in quotation. Kenya, let me just go down with this so that we'll be able to read it fully. Here is what it says. Now, Kenya would conclude a legal finished agreement with the European Union, which would allow the European Union Atalanta to drop first seized arms, weapons, but also traffickers, arms and drug traffickers here for prosecution. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? What they're putting Kenya into, in what kind of position? She said, continuing, the EU ambassador to Kenya, Seychelles has already agreed. They already have a legal finished agreement, but it's a small island. They cannot stand alone. So what? Now that you have rewarded and labeled Kenya with a major non-NATO allies, and Kenya is now your go-getter, or your errand boy to assign, I have a problem with this insecurity, go and attack this one, go and prosecute this one. And who gonna pay the price? You are protecting European Union and US, your own people. You do not want to get the dead bodies of your own militaries. Now the Kenyan children, the Kenyan military have to face this, have to do this, just like exactly what is being done to Kenyans, to the Kenyan police by assigning them in Haiti, because the US is tired of, they don't want to get their military, every time coffins from Haiti. They know what kind of hater is waiting for them. Let us see now the reaction from the rebels, about Kenya. It will be there. Kenya did not even, could not even finish the ones they have with Al-Shabaab in Somalia. I mean, it wasn't easy. They know that the US in the 1991, 1990, they have been embarrassed their dead bodies being dragged in the desert of Somalia, in Mogadishu. Now they don't want to face that. Ever since that, they want a proxy war in the continent. So, like it could be Ethiopia or others, or Kenya or another one, or Uganda, whatever, or AMISOM, the African Union mission, have to go and fight that. Okay. So I really want to hear from the Kenyans what they are saying about this. But now, with this, we can say that the ink is not even dried. The agreement that Kenya has become a major non-NATO ally, but before it even that dries, in less than 48 hours, Kenya has been given another mandate to join the NATO war against the Yemen's Houthis. Now, the EU Operation Atalanta is a military operation in the Horn of Africa that counters piracy at sea. Geiger explained, meaning the ambassador, that the EU Navy force lacks the authority to prosecute suspects and cannot detain them for long without charges. Therefore, countries like Kenya are needed to assist in prosecuting suspects. I hope it really ends there, just prosecuting. I hope you're not dragging the military of Kenya into this. Now, Isaiah Nukoro said that, look, let's read. Isaiah Nakoro, the head of Kenya's Department for Shipping and Maritime Affairs, says his country is ready to work on issues that promote security and free flow of goods and people. He said, we have to work together to ensure that we achieve the aspiration for ensuring there is sustainability and security, and all activities that threaten the livelihoods of people and movement of people have to be addressed in partnership with all those who have a stake. Now, we really want to hear from the citizens of Kenya how they translate this. Now, Kenya, look at this. Kenya faced criticism about whether its legal system allows the prosecution of suspected pirates accused of having committed crimes far away from territory. You see? Exactly. Now, however, in 2012, a Kenyan court ruled the East African nation has jurisdiction to try Somali pirates carrying out attacks in international waters. I mean, anyway, if you want, you can do anything. The people in US, you can even change the policy, the law in Kenya. Andrew Mawangura is a consultant on maritime safety and security in Kenya. More than 10 years ago, he helped negotiate the release of some pirate captives. He says Kenya will always face legal challenges in prosecuting suspects who have not committed a crime in its territory. So that's where it stands with regards to Kenya joining the fight against Yemen's Houthi, as if it is not enough that it's joining or it's deploying 1,000 police in Haiti. And Seychelles is also the same thing. They have also joined this. It's just a small island, very rich. You don't see their net, but they want to put Kenya in the forefront. That's what they did for the Haiti deployment. That's what they're doing now for this one from East Africa. They know exactly their relation US with the Eastern African country is getting it is ruined. If you come to Eritrea, if you come to Uganda with the LGBTQ thing, if you come to DRC with the recent, attempted coup, Ethiopia, it has its own issues. And Djibouti is like, a no man's land. Everyone has a base there. So they have to come to Kenya. Now, Kenya really have to watch what they are doing, because it's not only them, it's gonna affect the entire region of East Africa, or the Horn of Africa, to be specific. uh anyway, fans, fam, let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this in this show, in this span of time for the US and EU to come? You know what, we have given you this and major non-NATO ally. Now you have to do whatever we say. Now you are going to go and fight the one against the Yemen Houthis rebels. You are going to prosecute this and that. Well, they're making it a demand or a kind of a question or some, but it's Kenya has no option but to say okay. And for your information, Kenya already has accepted this. Okay, the president has accepted it. What a disaster, really. Please comment below, and we take further the discussion. Share the video with others. Let's import each other with information and knowledge. Please give it a like if you like what we bring you here. Donate to our PayPal account. It will help us to be here more often, and hit that notification bell so that you will be notified when we have upcoming new videos. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this? Really, we need your deep sight into this one.